Round 3. Let's see if we can get these hawks. Let's 1 damage flying our opponent to death. Now, this hand, in all seriousness, is just fine. Torch Gauntlet. Ooh. Fairgrounds Warden, huh? Very good. So I played the Hawk before the Mechanic. It wasn't for revoke privileges purposes. I think it was just because there's a good chance my opponent plays something that can block Mechanic on turn 3. So I'd rather just play something that can fly over top. All right. Ooh, Pillar Bug's actually pretty good. Probably want to Warden that, to be honest. Some good synergy right there. Look at that. Lifelink +2 +0. That'd be tough to race. Well, if I can ever leave up 3 mana, I could save the Warden from removal, but we'll see if we're given that luxury. Still a question as to whether I want to play the Mechanic as a Grizzly Bear as well, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. Ah, Fragmentize. Well, do we want to deal with the equipment or the dude? I think the dude. The dude abides, so let's take him out. Smash for 2. And we can still leave up those trade wins if we want. But I don't think I'm going to. Let's just get another Hawk out there. Could have played the Mechanic once again, but I didn't. All right. Ooh. All right. Well, let's get in with a Hawk, because we want to leave the other Hawk back to block the Screecher. Although, yeah, actually, I still think that makes sense. If my opponent has an answer for the Sky Whale, I want to be able to block that Screecher, especially if it's equipped with a Torch Gauntlet. I don't want to take 5 flying damage. Maybe it'll get revoked. Maybe it'll have its privileges revoked. And then I'll get to get some huge payoff with this Mechanic. All right. The Harrier. So I guess we're in full-fledged hangout mode now. Well, Pioneer. Yeah, I guess so. And I suppose I'd rather, well, am I going to trade wins it? I don't know. We'll play the Pioneer, and I guess we'll make a servo. The thing is, 1/1s don't really matter to me all that much. But it feels like between Mechanic and trade wins, we're probably going to be looking for some Pioneer value. And I don't want to trade my Sky Whale for a Screecher, so let's chill. I'm wondering why the opponent equipped the Screecher. Maybe there's something I don't see. Shield Guard. Well, that's like a perfect draw, actually, since lets us keep the broker at bay. Well, sort of, I guess. Kind of. Well, regardless. Shield Guard. And then we can start swinging with this Sky Whale, which is kind of sweet. So maybe I can't block the broker. So what I could do is, if my opponent attacks with the broker, I can block with the Shield Guard. Then maybe they put the counter on the Harrier, because they just want to make this be able to live through this. And then maybe I'll find some Aether Trade Winds value. That'd be okay, I guess. No attacks. All right. Glimmer. Well, that's pretty good. So I can swing with Shield Guard plus Sky Whale. Make this indestructible. Opponent probably blocks broker on Shield Guard. I mean, it's not great. We're not in a rush. We're certainly ahead on the board. We have stuff. Let's just Glimmer at the end of our opponent's turn. I'm down for hanging out longer here. Like, black-white, I feel like they have a lot of removal, so leaving up trade wins whenever you can feels like a good idea. And we really have not been doing it just because we've had a lot of plays to make. Yes, Snare Thopter will do. All right, let's Glimmer. Well, do we need a 6th land? I guess not. So we'll bottom that, and we don't really need a Thriving Turtle, so we'll bottom that too. Okay, Acrobatic Maneuver. Not bad, not bad. Responder, also not bad. So I can attack with Shield Guard plus Sky Whale. Opponent blocks that like that. All right, let's start some assaulting and drawing more cards if we can. So we'll get in with these two, make that indestructible. It only costs 1, right? Yeah. So why don't we Acrobatic Maneuver? Alright. Comes back. Deal some damage. I can still leave up the trade winds too. Because Responder doesn't actually do a lot on this board. I can't attack with it. So I think we'll wait on the Responder for now. The Hawks can also make the Shield Guard fly. In fact, that's probably just a good idea, isn't it? I guess if I attack with the Hawk, though, the opponent kind of gets a free block a little bit. It's probably not a big deal. Oh, we're definitely taking that. No play. All right. So now I think we're going to be swinging a little bit more. So make that indestructible, give this thing flying. All right. Okay. So we'll trade winds, bouncing this, and I guess Snare Thopter because it's more expensive, but it has haste. So I guess Screecher. And then opponent can block a Hawk, but they take 8 damage. That's a lot. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to bounce the Thopter because it's got the 2 toughness, so opponent won't even have a good block here. Oh, let me make sure I targeted the right thing. So you and you. That Harrier attack was pretty insane. So Screecher probably has to block Pioneer now. Yeah. Okay. Well, the attack makes more sense now. So we'll play Shield Guard. And pass. No attacks, though. Okay. Ooh, Wisp-Weaver. So we can attack with... Huh. I definitely don't want to give him back the Pillar Bug. I mean, my thinking was I could eat the Harrier for a turn, swing for 9 in the air. My opponent could block a Hawk and take 8. They'd get this back. My other option is what? Play the Angel. I don't really have another. I mean, if my opponent gets that back, they can gain 4 life. Right? And I don't have a great block for it. My opponent's in top deck mode too, by the way. But, I mean, I can kill it. Question is, would I really wouldn't mind getting rid of the Harrier right now. Like, getting rid of the Harrier right now, right, lets me bash in with Hawk, Sky Whale, and Shield Guard. And that way, I could actually bash with the Servo, too. So I could attack with these 5. And my opponent has 2 blockers, because all of them would fly. So even if my opponent wanted to block a Hawk, the other one would probably have to maybe block a Hawk too, and then they take 8. They can equip and gain 4, so they could go back to 12. But I'm gonna have a Wisp-Weaver Angel plus a Sky Whale plus a Shield Guard and a Servo. So I can trade. I'd have to trade my Angel for a Pillar Bug, or would I just try and race? My opponent goes to 12. I don't know, it's still a little complicated. A little bit complicated. Kind of a, well, that's kind of cool. I can also play Mechanic, bounce Warden. I don't know, taking care of the Harrier seems good. My opponent gaining 4 also seems good. Like I said, it's kind of a complicated situation. Let's go through my opponent's blocks again. I attack with everything. Give everything flying. My opponent can block. Harrier's going to be gone because I'll play the Angel. My opponent will have Snare Thopter and Screecher. So Snare Thopter could block a Hawk. Screecher could block a Hawk. This is going to be indestructible. So even if my opponent wanted... Oh, my opponent disconnected. Maybe they thought they were... because I took so long. But it's because this is literally the most important decision of the game right here. So let's go for my play, because it does require my opponent to crack back with that, and they're still going to be left with 1 less vital flyer. So we're going to play the Wisp-Weaver Angel, do the Warden, make it come back, eat the Harrier, and go sky's the limit here. All right, so Wisp-Weaver on Warden. Like I said, my opponent's going to be able to gain some life. I know. But at the same time, we're going to be flying in for a lot of damage. So let's get in with Hawk, Sky Whale, Shield Guard, Servo. And Shield Guard targets this. Hawk targets this and this. Yes. 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 All right. Opponent's got 2 flying blockers. So Snare Thopter can snap block Hawk, right? But once again, that really does not leave my opponent with great blocks outside of that, and quite a bit of damage is getting through here. You can even follow up with the Mechanic just to get yet another body on the ground. At this point, it kind of makes sense. because we are in full-fledged race mode. All right, opponent's just taking 8. They're going to keep their Snare Thopter. So let's follow up with the mechanic. No. Nope. So we can take damage from the Pillar Bug. My opponent will go back up to 6, but it's still sort of contingent on what they draw here. Like, we have a lot of damage coming in next turn. All right. So the 5-minute play of doom that I took did end up paying off. It's a difficult decision because, like, giving your opponent a lifelinker plus the gauntlet, plus you never know exactly how your opponent's going to block, you know? You can formulate, especially when they have 0 cards in hand, what you think the best blocks are, but my opponent didn't block exactly like I thought they would. All right. So black-white, we see some artifacts, quite a few. Pretty decent removal. That's expensive, which makes cards like Aether Tradewinds infinitely better. Even the Rush of Vitality, like both of the removal and the combat trick we saw out of our opponent. Aether Tradewinds is going to do a bang-up job dealing with. So there is that. Yeah, would I want to swap Tradewinds for something? Fragmentize definitely still looks good. Impeccable Timing doesn't deal with the 4-power Harrier, but I think I'm just going to have to be okay with that. And I guess everything else seems fine, so let's just leave it the way it is and try her again. Yeah, we're going to keep this hand. Like, it's land heavy, obviously, but we do have the Sky Whaler shot, which is a nice way to deal with our opponent's Harrier. Our opponent is also mulliganing. Not that that should ever determine whether or not you mulligan, especially nowadays with the new Scry rule. Ooh. Look at that turn progression. Ah, Underhand Design's a good card. Skiff or Hawk? No, we want a Skiff, because then I can play Hawk and attack for more damage. No land, no play? Hey, we'll take it. Live fast. Kind of essential for my opponent at the moment. We get to draw a card off Doven, though, which is pretty sweet. So let's do this. Get some damage in there. Doven it up. Get some card advantage going. Play a more expensive Jace Bellerin. All right. Alright, so I guess Doven's on weekend duty at the moment. Leave up the trade winds and the Sky Whaler shot. Hopefully he just slams a Harrier. I want to scry one. Well, let's see if he makes a servo. Kind of would make sense to not make the servo. Well, I guess it does because of the design. Yeah, alright. Plus you want it to be a 2-2. I guess that does make sense. So draw a card off Doven or continue to tick him up and maybe go defensive. Well, our opponent has 4 spells in hand, right? We can always trade wins, kill the token, I guess, too. Alright, let's plus Doven here. Alright. Opponent plays land number 6. So we'll activate El Skiferino. Alright, so we can trade wins, bounce that, bounce this. Alright, cool. Shield Guard, hey! Alright, that's, guess we weaken... probably still weaken the Chief, I guess. Although... no, I guess we weaken the Flyer. Because we're going to have 3 ways to block Chief. Could have just drawn. It's not like I'm actively working towards Doven emblem anyway. Okay, Skywhaler shot, so I think we're just going to activate off our dude that's dying. I guess this lets my opponent sorcery speed removal my skiff, but even if Doven takes a hit, it's not like he's dead. What did my opponent do with that card? They put it on top, okay. Do I want to double block? We know our opponent has the +1/+0 lifelink thing, so I think I'm actually going to let Doven take it. Lifelink indestructible, mind you. Alright. Well, that's going to make things a little more difficult, I guess. So, I guess if he's dead anyway, well, I guess I can prolong it, huh? Alright, let's prolong. Prevents damage to us. So I've got less than 9 minutes. I guess my opponent's not too far off either, but... well, that's the thing we want to see. No attacks? What the... bottom that. I guess we'll draw now. Well, if I draw now, it dies, huh? Alright. Still trying to protect Doven as long as we can here. And yes, I am behind on time, so I gotta play a wee bit quicker. Well, I don't know why opponent didn't attack last turn. Alright, well, I'm not going to be able to save Doven anymore. We are officially out of action, so it is time. Skywhale, well, not bad actually. So if I play Skywhale plus minus this, no, I think we just draw. It's time. We need some spells. There we go. Alright. So we'll play this dude. And we'll play... oop. Play this dude. And we'll pass. So I'm going to be making quicker decisions here. There's a pretty decent chance we go to game 3. I mean, I presume opponent's got 3 spells in hand. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's probably the lifelink thing, but I can't play around it. So we'll activate this. And we'll block the Pioneer and the Marauder. I guess my opponent's going to gain more life because I blocked like this, but... Oh, make obsolete, jeez. Alright. I can do nothing. Alright, so I guess Angel gets us our Hawk back. And pass the turn. Well, if I can pull ahead on the clock, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable, I guess, but I gotta make quick decisions. Smashing. Well, I gotta block here. Yep. I can do nothing. I can do nothing. All right. All right. Guess we'll take a boatload of damage. Play a Windrake. And pass. So let's be conscious of that make obsolete. All right. So block here. Actually, I guess it makes more sense to block like this, doesn't it? Get rid of the lifelink. All right. Shall theorize a plan here. Man, not having a 2-power creature is pretty painful. Guess we'll go to 5. I don't know, that actually does help. All right. Hmm. All right. Well, we've taken our bajillion damage for the game, so I guess we'll double block and begrudgingly lose value. So we'll use the Theorist. Bottom that. Play Warden. Eat Lifelinky Flyer. And attack for 1. Well, sadly, my clock is not fast enough to beat my opponent. My opponent will deck me before I could kill them with a hawk. All right. Uh-oh. Chief looks good here. Multiple Chief of the Foundries. That's pretty insane, actually. All right. We're ahead on the clock, though. I guess that's good news, right? I see. Let's stay back, actually. Sure. So, I guess we'll block like this and this. Acrobatically maneuver. Ooh. One would almost forget we have that insane card in our deck. Oh my god. Thing is, I probably have enough mana to play them both. How crazy is that? Sure. Oh, I should have attacked the Warden, too. That's alright. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I see. All the energies a little boy could ask for, so let's get in with these 3. These triggers are going to cost me dearly. No. Alright. Damage. Why don't we play Mechanic? Bounce our Ancient. Yes. And then replay it. So we can blocks. And we don't have to bounce everything. Pillar Bug. Alrighty. Oh. Pioneer, you say. So let's get in with these 3. Should be able to kill our opponent next turn. Maybe keeping the Hawk back was a good idea. I don't know. Play the Pioneer, get some bodies. My body's a wonderland. Alright. Let's do it. Still have lethal even with the Pillar Bug. Gaining my opponent life. Kind of have to attack with everything. No choice. Alright, so we'll jump here. We'll block here and here. Let's see. Guy stays alive, I gain some life. Take 3. Still should have lethal on crackback. Maybe not. Maybe I screwed it up. We'll find out. Ah, I see. So, drew the removal spell you needed. That makes things difficult. If I bounce everything else, it doesn't do anything either, does it? Only all other. Alright, well, I don't have time to think about it, sadly. So we can play this. Maybe I needed to. I don't know. Like I said, I just do not have the time to think about it, sadly. Sadly, I don't have the time. So I need to get ahead on the clock. I'm a full minute behind. I think this isn't going to work out for me, is it? That's too bad. I banked so hard. I should probably just concede. It's theoretically possible to win in under 3 minutes, but just not likely. Oh, geez, 3 more lands are coming. Well, those weren't going to get me the victory, so now you're going to see Alex Stephenson play in the fastest game of Magic you could possibly imagine. I think our chances of winning are maybe like 1%. I guess it depends on how long my opponent takes, but this is where you're going to see Alex Stephenson go in hyperdrive mistake mode. You think Alex is already in hyperdrive mistake mode. Whoa, you have not seen it. You have not seen it until Alex Stephenson has less than 3 minutes on his clock. Stopping and starting this timer is going to actually probably cost me the game. The timer implying the thing where you don't have to watch me sit around like you are right now. All right, here we go. For all the marbles, less than 3 minutes. Keep. Not playing the Warden, so we need the Pioneer. And I'm going to do the counter because we need a race. I guess we can play a mechanic and then pass. No. All right, so we'll maneuver. Cool. No. Huh. I don't see that too often. All right. Oh, didn't block though. All right. Well, I'm going to eat the inspector because I'm done. I'm done thinking. I don't have enough time. Not enough time to think. All right. Come on. Activate. Like I told you to. Don't waste my time. Do not waste my time now. Oh, I guess I can't. That was the worst time the worst time for me to stall out there. All right, Doven's dead. Got it. I can kill him next turn. All right, activate Scuff. Ah, dope. So close. Yep. Wish I could have won, but ran out of time. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf says. All right. We'll see you for the next one.